Well, he might not have been a very good president, but damn it, I love me some George W. Bush. Whether he's struggling with the poncho or channeling what millions of us are feeling when he dissed Orange Nero and Melania at President Jimmy Carter's state funeral. My name is Suri Crowe, and you are watching the MeidasTouch Network. Firstly, President Carter's memorial service was so beautiful. More on that in just a minute, but the palace intrigue leading up to it was kind of wild. President Obama clearly drew the short straw, or maybe he just agreed to do the grunt work because he was sat next to Trump, who apparently could not get enough airtime or eartime with the cool, charismatic Obama. Yes, the same man, Barack Hussein Obama, that Trump has ruthlessly mocked for years. That's because, of course, he's jealous. And Obama played along, maybe a little too well, according to Tim Miller of The Bulwark, and also, well, according to me.
Trump tells everyone and all his followers that Obama is like the devil reincarnate and he's not actually American. He's the scum of the earth. And then he sees him. He's like, hey, what's up, big guy? Like, in fact, Trump probably loves being around these people. And I don't think he loves it because he gets to rub their face in it. I think he loves it because he's part of the club. And, you know, so yes, to me, this, if there's a story here, if there's something to focus on, it's that Trump's chummy with all these people who he's told everyone is the devil.
Yeah. And he feels, so this is actually why it bugs me. Because he feels like he's won, and I'm re-looking at this.
He
right
has
now.
one,
yeah, and I don't. Yeah, you're right. He has one, and so do you have to give it to him? Can't you let him suffer a little? Like this is what he wanted. He didn't want like the deportation, the harm.
Yeah, dude, he's not on our team. There was also the moment when the Trumps arrived. Melania was wearing an outfit that, well, Adam Parkhomenko compared to this painting. I'll let you take a look and judge for yourself. Trump and Mike Pence, you know, his former completely loyal vice president, the same one he tried to have killed on January 6th, shook hands, I believe for the first time they've seen each other since that horrible day. But Karen Pence was having none of it. She was like, nuh-uh. And I personally think Karen Pence took the right path. Donald Trump tried to have her husband killed. There is no normalizing that ever. And that is why I love the way GW handled it. I didn't personally agree with any of Bush's policies, but he is not an evil, morally bankrupt man. I covered him for years. I believe that he does care about this country. Trump does not. So while I appreciate that Obama was being cordial, Trump does not belong in the rarefied air of any of the formers, or frankly, at the service of the great President Carter. Call me Petty Betty, but I am with Tim Miller.
Like the deportation, the harm, like the harm that he's causing people. No, he wanted recognition. His daddy didn't love him. He has the empty hole in his heart. And so that's the only power you have left, liberals. This is the thing. Progressives, anti-Trumpers, all of us, I'll lump myself in with you. The only power you have left, no, actually, I want to focus on a specific group. Elite liberals, rich liberals. Top level Democrats, you know, the people in charge of the Met Gala, right? Like whatever, like the people that run the fancy restaurants, like the cultural elite. You only have one thing left. He's taken everything from you. You have one thing left. And that is you can deny him acceptance still. You can say, I don't actually care. You know, your little picture might be on the president list twice. You might name shit after yourself. You know, you got Air Force One, but you still can't come to my party. And I still don't think you're funny, and I'm not going to laugh at you, and I still look down at you, and you're still Donnie from Queens, and you're still a racist piece of shit. That's the only thing you have left. And I want you to use it. I want you to use it. Why give him that? Why give him that last thing? And Trump is working hard for it. I just like rewatched a little bit. Trump is like Obama makes him work for it a little bit, but he doesn't make him work nearly hard enough. And
What should Obama have done?
Man, you got to snub, Barry, snub him.
Just bite the lip, don't laugh, whatever.
Yeah,
even if he tells the world's best joke.
Yeah, give him this face. No. Well, what? Who are you talking to?
You can give him the face that George W. gave. I don't think it was in response to Trump. George has this great face where he's like,
yeah.
I don't know where George got that face.
Actually, you know what you do is it's like I'm switching seats. All right, you got to sit next to Karen. All right, you start talking to me. You want to talk to me? I'll turn around and start talking to Karen.
And Biden, in his last remaining days as president, which in this setting of remembering a great man was even more of a jarring contrast, with Trump standing out like a fake orange thumb painting in a museum filled with real masterpieces. And it was painful to watch. President Biden clearly seemed to be making a point to his successor as he eulogized President Carter.
Do the ends justify the means? Jimmy Carter's friendship taught me, and through his life taught me, the strength of character is more than title or the power we hold. It's the strength to understand that everyone should be treated with dignity, respect, that everyone, and I mean everyone, deserves an even shot. Not a guarantee, but just a shot. We have an obligation to give hate no safe harbor and to stand up to what my dad used to say is the greatest sin of all, the abuse of power. That's not about being perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're all fallible. But it's about asking ourselves, are we striving to do things, the right things? What values? What are the values that animate our spirit? Do we operate from fear or hope, ego or generosity? Do we show grace? Do we keep the faith when it's most tested?
Oh, if only Trump would heed those words. But of course he won't. He is a textbook psychopath, devoid of empathy, compassion, or respect. In fact, people like Trump, psychopaths, get off on humiliating others. They are sadists. They enjoy cruelty and hurting others. He doesn't care about anyone or anything but himself. And psychopaths are irredeemable. You cannot treat them. You cannot fix them. Consequences outside of prison, and even that, don't matter to them. So in my opinion, why give him any acceptance? GW him. Karen Pence him. The beautiful legacy that Jimmy Carter left will live forever, as in the words of one of his grandsons.
From the moment that he woke up until he laid his head, his life was a testament to the goodness of God. Sometimes I feel and felt like I shared my grandfather with the world. Today is one of those days. But really, he shared the world with me. The power of an atom, the beauty and complexity of a South Georgia forest. When we fished, he celebrated the majesty of everything from the smallest minnow to that grand circulation of waters. And he shared this love with my boys, taking these Atlanta public school kids out into the fields to show them about row crops and wild plums.
Decades beyond the corruption and hatred of Donald Trump. And President Biden will leave millions of us remembering what it feels like to have a competent, stable, compassionate leader at the helm. And God love President Bush. He sees what's coming down the pike once again, as he shared with Hillary Clinton at Trump's first inauguration.
A president is supposed to try to reach out to people who weren't for him or her. You're supposed to say, okay, I'm going to be the president of everyone, those who supported me and those who didn't, because we're going to pull the country together. I'd hope that I would hear a little of that. I didn't hear any of that. And then that carnage in the street and the dark dystopian vision. I was sitting there like just, wow, couldn't believe it. And George W. Bush says to me, well, that was some weird shit.
Wow.
President Bush, God love you, man. My name is Suri Crowe. You're watching the MeidasTouch Network. It is going to be a rocky flippin' ride. We already know that. He's not in office yet, and wow. But presidents like President Jimmy Carter and Joe Biden show us that there will be better days to come. We can do this. Peace.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.